friends. Welcome to Walking with J.Beau, an almost daily walking vlog. Yep, you're not seeing things. It's raining. Been raining hard all day, but it's not cold. So, if you're relatively new to the walking vlog, we have not had rain since like this. Literally, we have not had a rain day like this since probably April. It's been months. Maine has been under a severe drought. So this will do a lot to help with that. It rained yesterday, but today it's raining all day, steady. I have the camera mounted on my chest. I'm wearing a raincoat and a baseball cap, which is actually a Boston Bruins hockey cap that you've seen many times. So I don't have any kind of hood or anything. I don't wear a hood when I'm walking because I don't want to lose peripheral vision, which can be very dangerous when you're walking. Now, the camera is a GoPro. It's waterproof. We can actually swim underwater with it. So I just started this walk, and I can feel both my lower extremities starting to get wet on the legs and the back of my calves. That's from rain running off the raincoat. And these shoes are waterproof, but they're not waterproof with regard to being airtight if I submerge underwater, so my feet will get wet. It's kind of funny when you walk in the rain, because sometimes you'll get somebody pull up asking if you need a ride because they're being nice, or they're a serial killer looking for a new victim. I'm going to take a short 5-mile route today because it's raining. It's going to be a basic route that I've walked plenty of times. But we'll get our walk in today. And so it's kind of interesting to walk when it's raining. I don't mind it. Thanks. I don't mind it at all. It's actually good for you, I think, mentally. At least I think so. I don't know how the video is going to come out, if there's any rain on the lens. Hello.
It's a rainy day for a walk.
Yes, it is. Nice. She's been watching me walk by here for years. So we're going to go for a walk and enjoy it. So anyway, I have the camera on a chest mount, and we have the setting on standard because I think the lighting is enough where it's not going to be too shaky. A lot of times when it gets darker, the motion sensor screws up. Stabilizing, I mean. It should be all right. So as long as it's not 95 degrees, I enjoy walking. Don't mind a little bit of rain. Especially in the fall. It's about 62, 63, maybe 60 degrees, but it's very humid. It feels warm. I like how the rain sounds. So like that whole area in the woods right there, that's usually all flooded with water and it's bone dry still. It's gonna take a while for the rain to really catch things up. In fact, raining all day today won't be enough to fix the drought, but it's better than nothing. Little added things that you have to pay attention to is looking further on up ahead and watching traffic that's coming, because people don't expect somebody to be walking on the side of the road when it's raining, which, you know, that's common sense. You'd think, who the hell would be out here unless they had to be? So I keep a little extra paying attention. This is a great hat though. This hat I usually wear. I'm going to be very disappointed when this hat finally gives out. It's one of those hats that never loses its shape. I thought it was an expensive hat 15, 20 years ago, and it was, but it's been super awesome. It's funny when people stop and ask if I need a ride, which does happen sometimes. But I usually tell them, well, I'm actually doing this to myself on purpose. Thanks for the offer, you know. Also, it's really looking like fall right now. the leaves are still a little flat. It's like that tree right here, most of those leaves are brown. You know, they're not the same colors they were last year. That's because of the drought. So we're gonna have a mixed bag. Some trees are gonna look really good. But today is September 25th. And the significance of that is that last year, 2 weeks into October, the leaves were at their peak. And they're turning a little early this year. So I'm anticipating the best leaf peeping is going to be about 2 weeks from now, maybe 1 week into October, maybe sooner. So I'm going to pick my walking routes accordingly. As I watch this car here, they see me. And so I'm going to pick my routes accordingly. But I definitely want to get a really nice view of foliage. As we come up to the first mile marker, I'm not wearing my Bluetooth today because I've worn that in the rain before. And while the rain didn't ruin it, what happened is it got corrosion in the connector between the battery and the unit. And it kept turning off on me until I used some expensive electronics cleaner. Which works very well. Which I got for guitar electronics. I don't like a guitar where you use the volume knob and it's scratchy, or an old stereo receiver and you turn the volume and the knobs are scratchy. That is dirt that's in them. So this stuff is called deoxit. It deoxidizes. Very good stuff. Small can's about 10 bucks. It's not like overly expensive, but for electronic cleaning stuff, it's expensive. But what's good about it is it cleans, and then most of it evaporates. And then what doesn't evaporate is kind of like a sealant, a protector that doesn't interfere with the electronics. So it helps prevent future corrosion. But water getting inside is water getting inside. So I'm not wearing a Bluetooth today. So you're gonna hear my pocket talk to us once in a while, like it has already, but we didn't hear it because of traffic. I just smacked a bush with my thigh that was loaded with water. And my thigh got wet instantly. So a lot of people will say things like, oh, you're going to catch cold. And no, there's not one single instance of catching a cold because you got chilly, cold, and wet. Cold wetness does not give you a virus. So, day before yesterday, this is really strange. This is going to sound weird, but it's true. I was talking about Scott Adams, the one who did the comic strip Dilbert, and he was canceled for being a quote-unquote racist because he agreed with Trump on something. Anyway, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and he blames the flibbity gibbet. He says it's the fault of the flibbity gibbet. The picky pointy thing associated with the scamdemic in 2020, 2021. You know what I'm saying about the flibbity gibbet? Well, he took the flibbity gibbet and he has prostate cancer. And this week, 3 people I know that I follow, nobody famous, 3 of them have prostate cancer. They're all 60 to 70 years old. So that's 3 within the last 2 weeks that have told me in private messages, say a prayer for me, I have an aggressive form. That's the thing. A lot of people get prostate cancer, but it's manageable through the rest of your life. You go on testosterone. A lot of people don't even need radiation. Cancer cells feed on testosterone. So they start reducing your testosterone, which affects your sexual ability for sure. But you know, the upside is that it prevents you from having a short life. You can actually finish the rest of your life with a lot of forms of prostate cancer. And all 3 of them have an aggressive form. All 3 of them told me that they were vaccinated for certain things, which again, I support vaccinations for vaccines where they use actual strains of something where it's natural to your immune system to develop an immunity. Don't have an issue with that. But I don't like the flibbity gibbet. Don't like the flibbity gibbet. So all 3 of them had the flibbity gibbet. 2 of them had 1 shot, and the other one had 2 and a booster. So they're upset because they're blaming that. And again, I don't know how valid that is. I'm just talking about it. But it seems like an awfully strange coincidence that they all have an aggressive form, where normally prostate cancer is not an aggressive form. And they're not like really old. They're in their 60s and early 70s. So I'm just shooting that out there for something to think about. Basically though, they're blaming the flibbity gibbet. Does nothing to help them. Maybe it makes them feel better, I don't know. But it's not going to reverse what's been done. And I would just really recommend that if you are a certain age, you should probably go get an exam from your doctor more often than you have been. So I don't know if that would involve a CT scan, digital exam, whatever. But you may want to consider that, and I'm just mentioning that as a public service. We've had doctors testifying this week to the Senate as well, which is why these people are talking about it, I think. There has been a serious increase in cancers globally. I don't think anybody's pinned down exactly what has caused it, but it is a fact that cancers are on the rise, and they are the more aggressive types. So somebody needs to look into that, and people should not be creating panic over it, but it's just something I wanted to mention. So do your research on the flibbity gibbet before you do it. I've decided I'm not going to ever with any kind of that new technology. Not until I see actual, real, non-biased, non-partisan studies from universities, which right now I cannot trust university studies. Paid for studies, they give a desired result that somebody paid for. The more desired results they give, the more money they get from Washington, D.C. and the lobbyists. So the lobby pays politicians a lot of money from the big pharma industry to promote all things prescription, not just the flibbity gibbet and other things. A very powerful corporate greed involved with the amounts of money you just would not imagine. So, and the other thing I don't like is Big Pharma makes billions and billions and billions of dollars. And then when they get in trouble for something and they finally lose lawsuits for something, it's 15, 20 years later. And they pay out hundreds of millions after making billions and billions off it. So it's part of their business operating cost to pay out damages. So there's no incentive for them to not do it. They literally do not care. So doctors are just people. They rely on the information and guidance from the CDC that they are given. Their industry is very litigious. Anything a doctor does, he gets sued for malpractice. They pay a lot of money for malpractice insurance. And that causes them to adhere to accepted guidelines and not go outside them, even if they know it's wrong. So like I said, they're just people like everybody else. A lot of doctors are not rich. You know, they'll make $250,000 a year private practice, but they got to pay for their kids' college. They got to pay for probably an ex-wife. They're paying for their property, their mortgage, car payments, probably for their kids too. And, you know, so it's not, you know, the doctors that do make a lot of money are people that specialize in something. A specific, like heart surgeon, brain surgeon, plastic surgery, things like that. But your basic DM, family practice physician, and it's pretty much just another person like you are. That's their job they're doing. So that's just the truth of it. Big Pharma does not care. So So anyway, we're enjoying our walk today. Right now I'm about as wet as I'm going to get. From my knees down, I'm wet. I can't see that because I have the camera mounted on my chest. But I am going to stop at the neighborhood porta potty at the park around the corner. And I am taking a very basic short route today. Oh, that's a nice yellow tree on the right. That one's got some nice yellow. They all look like they have leaves missing towards the top. Every single one of them. The trees have thinning hair. Well, at least the animals will be happy today. They're getting a drink of water. I just heard my pocket mumbling at me. Well, this is righteous rain right here. This is what you call a downpour. So anyway, guys, I'm going to talk about something here, and then I'm really not going to talk about it again. I'm very disappointed in a lot of conservatives talking about Charlie Kirk. Why am I disappointed in somebody talking about Charlie Kirk? Well, I'm reading the most ridiculous, stupid conspiracy theories online that I think I've ever read about anything. Talks about Charlie Kirk was killed by Israel. You know, it's the Jews they're proclaiming stupidly. How stupid do you have to be, really? They're talking about trapdoors that was underneath them. Somebody popped up through a trapdoor and shot Charlie between his legs because some idiot online doesn't know what hydrostatic shock is. They don't understand what bullets do after they enter flesh. Sometimes they come apart, sometimes they separate from the jacketing. We don't know if what kind of rounds we used. We knew it was 30-06. We don't know if they were hollow point, jacketed hollow point, pointed soft points. We don't know what brand it was. We don't know the velocity. We don't know anything. Yes, a 30-06 can hit a bone and shatter. The bullet can fragment. On this one, it hit a bone. According to the autopsy, the bullet then shot down inside his body from his shoulder. And that's it. There's no conspiracy. So I'm really tired of all you're doing is you're taking blame away from the leftist with the transferee that he lived with, where far left extremism caused this, not the Jews. I really have no idea why everybody has gone on this anti-Israel crazy train. Candace Owens is another moron who I used to watch and admire. Now she sounds like a complete friggin' flippin' lunatic. So, thanks. So I'm not going to participate in any of that stupid moron activity. And if you're one of those people believing that stuff, then you need to reassess a simple fact. That people don't trust the mainstream media. They don't trust official government stories. They don't trust anything. So we're starting to get a what I call a Lord of the Flies mentality. And it's dangerous. And it's also very stupid. There's nothing for me to question with Charlie Kirk's assassination. I've not seen anything to indicate any kind of stupid conspiracy theory. The only thing I still have questions about is whether or not the furry roommate is going to be charged as an accomplice or obstructing justice because he did destroy evidence or attempt to. And he didn't call the police right away after knowing about a crime. They weren't married, so that legal clause of calling the police on your spouse as a defense is not going to work. So that's all I want to say about the Charlie Kirk stupidity I'm reading about online. It's embarrassing to conservatives to even entertain that kind of stupidity. And I'm seeing people like Stu Peters and other people capitalize on it for ad revenue. When it was convenient for him to do so, he turned against Trump. And then when it was convenient for him to do so, he supported Trump again. And people like him, I liked him during COVID. He had good information. And then when COVID was coming to an end, he had to go find something new because he made a name for himself during COVID. So now he just takes whatever the hot topic is. And at this point, it is embarrassing to see conservatives dishonor Charlie Kirk like that. Charlie Kirk supported Israel and the Jewish people. He was questioning some things that the government was doing with regard to Israel. which seems to have spawned many of these conspiracy theories that the Jews killed him, which they didn't. And it's really quite embarrassing that conservatives would take our Martin Luther King and sully what happened to him like that, which was caused by leftists, okay? So what you're doing is you're taking the blame away from leftists and you're saying it's the Jews and Israel killed them. And I absolutely hate you for it. It's embarrassing, it's stupid, and it's unacceptable, and you people look like fucking morons. That's all I wanted to say. Time to pee. All right. We got out of our pit stop. So if you're one of those people watching this and you were believing some of that stuff, just please get outside and touch some grass. It makes no sense at all. None. You know what you sound like when you do that? And I hope this irritates you and pisses you off. You sound just like the leftist morons who said Trump staged his assassination attempt with ketchup and blood bags, and, you know, the two people that got shot were paid actors. I've seen so much stupid shit on the fucking internet, I cannot believe it. And it's a direct result of the mainstream media not being trusted by anybody. It has to be, because I can't think of anything else. People are that stupid to believe that kind of stuff. To the point where every time leftists commit violence, the left believes, honestly, that Republicans did it. Conservatives did it. They can't own their own shit because they have influencers on the internet coming up with conspiracy theories. This is happening on both sides, okay? And it's stupid. This crap needs to stop. So much stupid crap has been spewed. I mean, it's just freaking unbelievable. Unbelievable how easily led people are now. I read 3 articles today. 3 articles about leftists. One of them, I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. I mean, literally, seriously, I'm not exaggerating. This woman was pregnant, 8 months pregnant. Because President Trump said not to take Tylenol if you're pregnant, she took a whole bottle of Tylenol, which is fatal, okay? That's fatal. Her liver shut down because it caused liver failure. Tylenol is toxic. So she took a whole bottle because President Trump told her not to. True story. So they were planning to try to save the baby by birthing it early because she has liver failure, so that puts the fetus, the baby, in danger. And because she took those, it's probably going to cause problems for the baby. And it's like, you know, I didn't know whether to laugh at that story or cry, because you could do both. And I read 2 other ones that were similar. They're posting videos on TikTok and other places, taking Tylenol while they're pregnant, dancing. It's like everything They're convinced everything Trump says is a lie. So I'm seriously hoping President Trump does not give a press conference saying that you shouldn't take cyanide, because these fools would take it. Absolutely incredible. It's incredible how stupid people are now. What the hell's going on, folks? What's going on? That is insane. Crazy. These people have lost a couple of gear teeth. Their gears are slipping. That's all I can think of. Their brain machine is not working. That's friggin' dangerous. You don't have to wonder very hard about, you don't have to wonder very hard about how it's possible for people to get confused enough to assassinate Charlie Kirk. This is where they're at right now, isolated in an echo chamber somewhere, believing stupid bullshit. Very scary. So the other bit of news I want to talk about is Florida. Florida, for years, all I've been hearing about with Florida is, oh, they're so free, they can have guns, it's the best gun state ever. And I never saw it that way.
3 miles. Time, 52 minutes, 16 seconds.
They just recently were able to carry permitless, concealed. And today, they overturned an appellate court ruling that banned open carry. So as of today, in Florida, you can walk around with your rifle slung over your shoulder, and it's legal. It is in Maine also. But we don't see that in Maine because the Constitution is functioning like it should. People have the right to own firearms. If you walk around with a long rifle, carrying it in your hand, somebody is going to call the police. If you have it slung over your shoulder, somebody's going to call the police. The problem is, you're not in trouble when the police show up because it's legal. And some cities have ordinances. Lewiston has a city ordinance where they don't want you to do that. Presumably, you can get some kind of summons for that, though I've never heard of a single instance of it happening here. Don't think you ever will. It's one of those things that liberals passed, but constitutional carry for the state clearly states permitless carry, open or concealed. Period. That's the law. So someone would call, they'd ask you questions, and if you weren't a threat, the cops would just leave you on your way. So I was very surprised that they just enacted that in Florida, where now it's legal to have a rifle, an AR-15, slung over your shoulder in public, or to have a holster with a pistol in it, open carry. Now, there's various reasons why, in my opinion, you would not want to open carry. And the big one for me is you're advertising that you have a gun. You're more likely to not prevent a robbery if you're open carrying, or an attack, or a rape, because somebody with a weapon will pop out and take your weapon away from you, where if you had it concealed, they don't know if you have one or not. And I know some people are going to argue that, but I firmly believe it's not a good idea to advertise. I gotta tie my hiking shoe here. I'm untied because my laces are wet. So anyway, you can't have advertisement that you're carrying. What if you're walking in a neighborhood and there's like a gang of thugs? These gangbangers love getting free guns, and you're advertising that you have one, and they have guns too. All they have to do, and you'll never be good enough to defend against it, is have all 5 of them pull their guns on you and say, "Give me your friggin' gun," and you're gonna give them the gun. Are they gonna shoot you afterwards? Probably, because you can identify them. So it's not a good idea. My opinion is keep it concealed. Don't tell the whole world you carry. Now you guys know I carry. So many people in Maine do. But maybe I don't. Maybe I just say I do. You don't know, do you? I've never showed you my firearm. I might not even own one. So anyway, be careful, use common sense. The best thing for safety is to be incognito, not advertising. Be smart about it, that's all. And the best thing to do is to hope to God you never have to use it. Not ever. That should be common sense, I would hope. So anyway, we're having a good wet walk today. If it was in the winter time and it was cold and it was raining like this at 38, 39 degrees, I would not be walking. I wouldn't be walking in it. So I'm already picking out horror movies for the month of October. Definitely going to watch Night of the Living Dead more than once. I bought a really nice 50th anniversary Criterion Collection Blu-ray. It's the best print I've ever seen of it. The two best ones I've seen is the one that was released in Europe before the 50th anniversary. They released it there first before America. And then I bought the 50th anniversary 2018. Absolutely wonderful packaging. It's got a poster, really nice. And the picture quality is amazing. That is the one that George Lucas and George Romero. George Lucas funded a lot of the restoration. They spent a few $1 million frame by frame restoring the movie, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And it has perfect picture quality, very enjoyable. The other thing I like to do is I use AirPlay from my iPad often. You can do it from your phone also to your smart TV. We got a pretty nice TV in the living room. It works great on. You just click the little AirPlay icon on whatever video I'm watching on my iPad, and it shows up on the TV after you match it to the scan the code. So your TV plays stuff from your device and not other people in the neighborhood, which would be extremely annoying when you're trying to watch something and the neighbor decides to watch something else. It'd be like the grumpy old men with the remote control having a remote control war across their driveway into each other's houses. So we don't want that. So the rain is letting up a tad. Still raining, but it's not downpouring like it was. Chickens were out. The chickens are out eating in the rain. Chickens are getting a bath. Chickens! Yep. Making our way. So I hope everybody's having a good week and a good month. Hope everything's nice for you and your family, who you care about. Coming up on 4 miles now, up ahead here. Worst of the walk is over. And the reason why when it's raining like this I mount the camera on my chest is mainly because the bill of my hat keeps a lot of the rain off the front of the camera. And I do understand you're going to have rain on the camera, but I'm walking in the rain, so it could be worse. Keeping it as good as I can. So once in a while I'll wipe my finger in front of the lens like that. It's not really going to help. But that's what we got today. It's been a long time since it's rained. So this is actually kind of nice. What if this is the last time it ever rains? And we all shrivel up and disappear. Now it's starting to rain hard again. So this is a good old-fashioned rainy day. Kind of wish I had a cowboy hat today. I have a cowboy hat. I have an Aussie Outback hat. Hopefully I can make the whole walk without having to change the battery, because it's going to be difficult to change it and keep the battery dry. I'm going to have to find a little cubby hole to stand in and change it. Another reason why I opted to do a short walk today. gonna get wet. I think I'm about as wet as I'm gonna get. So my friends, if you're committed to walking every day, this kind of weather is okay. Yeah, that one got me wet. Somebody drove through the... Oh, here comes another one. Go! Two of those guys got me. Look at the water running down the storm drain. These storm drains have not had water running down them for a while. So it's been so a while since we've had this much rain that there were probably critters living down there in the sewers that were born after the drought started, and they're probably wondering what the hell is going on. Flood! So I'm going to keep motivating to get to where I'm going. I'll survive. My feet are now officially wet, and that actually came into my shoes from my shins in the rain running off my raincoat. So, like I said, doesn't matter if you get waterproof shoes, you're gonna get wet if it's raining. When I get home, I'll kick my shoes off. Absolutely enjoying this walk today. I really am. I'll walk up here on the side. That car had an opportunity to absolutely drench me in this water here. See the water running down. So now across the street here, I'm going to cross and finally have water running down here again. The rain is replenishing, and that's why it was good that it rained all day, because it's really going to replenish rather than just having a quick downpour of an inch of water. This is much better stretched out over a day. It's going to rain until around 2 a.m. here, I think. Well, I'm going to cross over. I see a couple of people up ahead on the side of the road. Looks like they're I don't know what they're doing. Let's see what they're doing. They seem to be pulling a cart. Are they homeless? Oh, that's real shitty if they are. Two people pulling their carts. They were probably enjoying where they were because we haven't had rain all summer, basically. Not even thunderstorms this year. Isn't that crazy? I think we had one thunderstorm, maybe two. Had a little bit of rain with it. Oh, this is that crazy guy. That's that crazy guy I saw talking to himself. And I also saw him crying one day while he was walking. What a life. Now all of a sudden, the top side of my left foot is twinging. I don't know why it's doing that. Part of my foot that never bothers me when I'm walking. Now it's bothering me. Well, I'll get home and take it easy with that. Oh, look at this. We got a laundry pee-pee jug. Huh? Huh? Beau, look at that. These things are awesome at the range. So we got another pew-pew. Pew, 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 pew. And whatever it was with my left foot is starting to iron out a little bit. Something twinged, feels like a ligament. I am walking faster than normal today because it's raining. Somebody's probably going to think I ran out of gas and I'm carrying a gas can. They're probably going, heh heh. Nope. Kind of plastic for this jug. Would not surprise me if gasoline would actually eat through that. It's not really made for that. Anyways, my friends, I will unscrew the camera when I get towards the end of this walk, and I will put my face on it for this walk and say goodbye. Up ahead here, hope you're enjoying the walk today. The weather's been so good, I'm sure these walks have been getting very boring. But pretty soon we're going to get some snow once in a while. If it's warm and it's not too snowy, I'll walk. But it's all going to be played by ear. So my last walk did not get flagged for the flibbity gibbet. And I also want to take a second to acknowledge that I have seen YouTube reinstating past accounts that I used to like to watch, or ones that I knew about that were suspended because of politics and pressure from the government. So our vote for President Trump is restoring sanity. I'm very happy about it. One of the accounts I saw that got reinstated last night, Alex Jones. Whether you like Alex Jones or not, he has a voice, and he was silenced, and now his account is back on YouTube. There's been other accounts that have come back also. So that's really happening. A lot of people were skeptical, but I can verify that is happening. So this is all what we voted for. This is making things right with the world, back to pre-2020, and actually 2018, 2017, because they really started censoring, because Trump was too busy fighting the Russia and other BS, and we had the deep state stabbing him in the back. They were continuing on with their operations. And then when Biden became president, they really went crazy with it, censoring people. So let's hope it sticks. So if there's any accounts you used to follow on YouTube, go find them again. Chances are they're back. And this is what we voted for. Should be very happy about that. So I'm going to cut across here. So I urge you to go check things out. From what I noticed, these accounts did not have their check marks back yet. So they're not monetized yet. It's probably about the time maybe I should reapply for monetization for my channel, because if they're changing their policies, what they denied me for might be different now. So I should look into that also. I would like that very much, because when you get monetized, the algorithm shows you to more people, because Google wants to make money. That's how that works. So we'll see how that shakes out. Wouldn't that be cool? Come to my videos and there'll be ads playing. Isn't that awesome? Just kidding. But they would though, I'd have ads. But when I'm, I use Chrome browser and I use an ad blocker. So when I'm on YouTube and places like that, I don't see any ads. Nothing at all. When I watch the YouTube app on a TV, it doesn't have ad blocking. You get ads, so. Anyways, coming up towards the end of this walk, I'm going to unscrew the camera and I'm going to carry it in my hand, turn it towards me, so you're going to have to see my big dumb face. Woe is you. I just hit 5 miles.
25 minutes, 10 seconds.
So my friends, the other thing when I'm walking in the rain is a lot of times it'll sound like I'm talking in a pillow, and that is actually because water is in the microphone. Can't do anything about that. So they put the microphone on here in the place it's at, underneath the lens, and sometimes you get water in it. So it sounds like you're talking through a pillow. But anyways, my friends, say a prayer for Trump and the country. God bless you and your family. Say a prayer for conservatives and for people to find sanity and stop believing all this conspiracy theory stupidity. And we will see you on the next walk, my friends. Thank you very much for walking with me today. And really, thanks for being here. And we got a pew-pew jug today. See you guys on the next walk. Bye-bye. Stay safe. Watch out for one another and be good. See ya!